Today's sermon, Be Careful How You Leave. Reading from the book of Luke, chapter 15, verses 11 through 18, by Pastor Brian Carpenter.
Be careful how you leave. Be careful how you leave. There was a story, some of you may have heard it, you may not have heard it. It was a fourth grade teacher. He applied for a position. He wanted to be a teacher and he wanted to be a basketball coach for the local school years. I'm not sure, it was in Indiana somewhere, but anyway, he had a very good interview. He felt full of himself. He had a great interview. He had the qualification, everything he needed to get this job. He felt like they were all in place. He gets a notification that he didn't get the job. As many of us have went through that same situation, I mean, we applied for the job and may be fully qualified, but there may be somebody else who's just as qualified as we are. Amen. So this man that takes it upon himself, he says, okay, I don't take rejection well. So he goes out and he starts trapping raccoons and skunks around his property. Right? So he starts sending them to the man. This is a true story. Starts sending them to the very man who didn't give him the job, right? But in his diligence to put everything together, some of the things that were seeping out of the box alerted some folk at the post office, right? So they said, wait a minute, something's not right with this stuff here. They're smelling too bad, right? So they talked to the postal inspector and said, we're going to keep an eye on this thing, right? So the next package that came through, blood was coming out of it. They said, wait a minute, hold it. Pull this package and said, we're going to open this up, right? So they seize what's in there, right? Now he's killed these animals and then sending them to this man, and he had a note attached to him, this is only the beginning. So he is so enamored with what he's doing, he didn't get caught up in the moment. So he said, not only am I not going to get the job, now I'm going to act a fool on my way out. How about that? Now he didn't got locked up and he's in jail because he didn't handle himself the right way when he was rejected for a job he thought he should have. But how many of us are in that same position today? I mean, we feel like we're in a good position, right? But some things happen within that dynamic sometimes, and sometimes we don't leave the right way. When we get ourselves caught up in what we feel like and how we should be perceived, we leave out the wrong way sometimes. Here we find a son, a prodigal son, he got it in his mind, well, it's my time to ride. I'm ready to get on out of here. I'm tired of the confines of the house. I don't know what's going on. Maybe him and mama ain't getting along, or he smelled himself. He said, he goes to his dad and said, look here, give me my portion right now. Right? You think about this situation, when we get so disappointed sometimes, we act out in immaturity. So this young man has got himself into a place, not only is he going to be disrespectful, I'm going to lead the wrong way, right? But you got to learn how to check yourself when you get in these situations like this, because now not only am I going to my father in a disrespectful manner, I'm basically telling you I wish he was dead. Because you think about it like this, anyone who would get to the inheritance of someone, somebody's got to die. Right? We talked about that a little bit on Wednesday, didn't we? In order to be an heir, connected, somebody has got to die in order for me to get what's supposed to come to me. See, he said, I'm going to jump through all these barriers, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, man, I'm going to get on out here and give me my portion. I can care less what happens to you out there. I got to get myself out of here. But this young man is caught up in rebellion. It's all about him now. He don't care about nothing else. He said, just give me mine, right? A lot of us been in the same place in our own lives. We want to get out of the house. We feel like we grown. We got this little $7, $8 job. We start smelling ourselves, got a little hoopty sitting out the driveway. It's time for me to get on out of here. I did the same thing when I was in the house. Couldn't wait to get on my own. But the bare reality was, when I got out of the house, I wasn't prepared for it. That Kool-Aid wasn't in the refrigerator like I wanted it. Bloating was gone. All these different things going on. Man, I'm lost now. Right? But when we don't learn how to check ourselves, we get ourselves out of hand, right? But he said he felt like, I've earned this. I've earned this right. We see it a lot of in our youth today, right? Give me mine. There's such an entitlement that they have. They feel like, since they carry your last name or they live under your roof, you owe them something. You working every day, you doing everything you can to provide for them, yet it's all about me. You working 6-7 hours, overtime and doing all these different things just to provide a safe environment for our children to live in. Yet you have one to come up against you like this.
Okay. Come on now.
Our immaturity, though, it causes us to lash out, don't it? We're not at a place to understand the full dynamic of what's going on, so we lash out. You know how it is. Sometimes we leave, but it's not a thing just to leave. I got to mess up some stuff when I leave out here. You know, you get fired from a job. You know, I got to, flip over a few desks, tear up a few keyboards, and all this kind of stuff. Just let them folk know that I'm mad. As opposed to just going on and leave. Just going to leave with dignity. Every place that I've been to, I try to leave with dignity. Even in a relationship, I at least try to leave the relationship with dignity. Now, this thing that got ugly now. But God shows us how to deal with these different things when we leave out the wrong way, right? But see, one of the things that happens when we see these type of dynamics, especially in the church realm, when you see folks that don't leave the church, that's great. But all I ask is you just leave the right way. Yes, not been one church that I've been to, maybe one, that I didn't go back and say, hey man, look, Pastor, this is what's going on. I think it's my time, my season to leave. I really feel like that, but I wanted to get his blessing. When you don't leave the right way and you try to go to another church, you have left carnage behind you that somebody's got to clean up.
Amen.
You know, pastors talk. So when you go land yourself in another church and start badmouthing this church or wherever you come from, trust me, a phone call's going to be made at some point. And we're going to dialogue and talk about the different things that's going on. Trust me, anybody that's came into our church, I have made a phone call or two to make sure, what I'm getting in here. Because you may have trashed up the place that you was in, and you come in and bring the same thing in here. So I got to be careful with that, right? But you got to know when to let them go. You got to learn to understand that not only this, you have got to a point where you have disrespected my home. It's time for you to leave. But too many times we want to hold them. You know this joke is causing all these problems, being disrespectful and all this, but we're going to hold on to them. In essence, the father said, I ain't even going to argue with you, man. Go ahead and ride. Go ahead and ride. Then I'm going to cut you a check, and you get on out of here, because you're going to learn. You're going to learn. I have taken you as far as I can. It's time for you to go, right? The Father's showing great wisdom in a place like this. And he shows us, let the chips fall where they may. You got to get out of here. And he lets him go, right? But too many of us, we struggle in that area. We don't know when to let folk go. The Father said, man, just go ahead and let him ride. Verse 13, son gets up, gathered all his stuff, takes off. Like many of us, he tried to get as far away from the situation where he caused all the damage as he could. He said he went off to a far-off country. He tried to get as far away as he can. Most of us get in that same situation. We try to get so far away because we know we've caused so much trouble. And we want to see that trouble. We know we done messed up. We know we done messed up, but the thing about it is, I'm not able to face these type of things. So the structure and the things that I had in my home, I want to get as far away from those things as I can. I want to get to a place where I can be me. I want to do my thing, right? The comforts of his home and all those different things are gone now. He said, man, I'm a party. Like a lot of us last night went out there, Circle City, let your hair down. You can spend up half your check going out there partying. And look what happened. We try to get far away from our responsibilities and all those different things as we could, right? Know the bills was due. That wasn't important to me. It's a Circle City classic. So we gravitate to those type of things, and we justify the behavior because of the event. The young man said, look here, I'm going to go out and do my own thing and get as far away from my responsibilities as I can because I want to do me right now, right? You see our children, they do it all the time. They get out to school and they do all those different things, run as far away from the church as they can, right? But we mask the pain of our mistakes because it was all about me. We in this place. He's sitting down, partying, blowing his money, surrounding himself by people who don't care nothing about him. Only thing they're concerned about is what they can extract from him. Said he went to another country and wasted up everything. Many of us in that same place right now, just wasting away, giving away everything, and I like the comforts just for that time in our life. We just want to do what we want to do, right? He said he wasted his possessions, everything that he had, just for this temporary high, euphoria, that I can just do what I want to do, have fun. I want to just have fun right now. But too many times, the fun runs too long, don't we? I mean, we don't know when to cut it off. It just keeps on going. But we come into a place where we got to check ourselves. Not only that, we got to learn how to be real with ourselves, right? We got to learn our lesson. When he gets out of this place, he spins up everything. Now those ones he connected himself to are now gone. You know, many of us have been in the same parameters in our own life. Well, once we got to that place where we did everything we had to do, and we were partying, doing all this kind of thing, when everything is dissolved, now reality sets in. Now, man, these guys really weren't my friends in the first place. They were just hanging around me because what I offered them. You know, we can find ourselves in those places. We struggle in those places because we left the wrong way. Now we're sitting around the very thing we thought was going to give us that comfort that we needed is now gone. I thought this thing would just make me happy. I done trashed it up. I done left out of here. Now I'm sitting out here. Now reality is starting to come into place. The prodigal son, he's wasteful. He done went out and wasted everything. Now he has to look at himself in the mirror and say, man, I don't have anything now. Now what? Now what do I do? He joined himself to people, and he's looking around, and they throwing out food to the pigs. Then he starts thinking, he said, wait a minute, man. At the crib, I didn't have a problem. The circus were eating better than that, where I was at. But I'm so hungry, man, I would eat that. I would rather eat trash at this point because I done messed up everything in my life. I would rather do that because I done messed this thing up so bad. When reality sets into our situation, we got to make sure that we not only that we're trying to connect back to God because of the mess that we have made. But when we look around in our situation, we see the reality of the struggles that we've made. I've destroyed my family. I've destroyed everything that meant something to me because it was all about me. We have to be real. And it's about time that we start getting real with this. It wasn't about God. It was all about us, wasn't it? We go through those struggles. We have that connection. But it wasn't about God. That the whole parameter of what was going on, it didn't have anything to do with God. It was all about us. When my first real bad church experience leaving, I was all in, and I was serving on every ministry. I was doing everything that they asked me to do. My God, they asked me for $1,000. I couldn't wait to give it to them. You know, because we were building something. I felt connected to what was going on, right? And something happened within the church, that demographic, that threw me off a little bit, right? So instead of me handling it the right way, I chose to do it like most of us would do it. I'm going to mess this thing up and I'm going to get on out of here. How about this? The pastor had every right to move me. But I'm in position. I'm standing up high. I'm the man. You don't mess with my position. Right? So now he comes and says, look here, man, you're going to have to sit out with the folk for a minute. I got to readjust some things and all that. The humility wasn't in place for me at the time. So how you gonna go tell me I'm gonna sit down with the other people in the church? What? But I had to think about it. Now, as long as everything was going my way in the church, I was okay. But in this place, when I was asked to move, it wasn't asked to leave the church or anything like that. I just had to relocate for a season. But I wasn't willing to do that because it was all about me and what I wanted to do, right? So humiliation now has gotten into the way now. Now I'm humiliated. I can't go back to this place. So what did I do? Left the wrong way. I'm out of here. Left nasty email and all this kind of stuff and took on off. Right? But I had to think about it. It bothered me because I knew I didn't do things right. I knew my season was coming up. But at this particular thing, I didn't handle it the right way. And I knew it was messed up. right? And it's bothered me because I didn't go back and make that connection that I needed to make. If I was just man enough at that position, I would just say, hold on, man. Look here. I'm not really understanding what's going on, but look here. Let's sit down and talk. Let's just get this thing right. I still may leave, but I'm going to make sure that I get on one accord with you. Because as long as God has been good to me, I was okay with it. But as soon as there was a shift in my dynamic, then I started acting fool, right? So the thing about how God works, I never fully got over it. Even to this day, I still think about it because it's a sting there. When you leave the presence of the Lord in the wrong way, these kind of things come back around to bite you. God ain't gonna let you, just sit idly by because you know you done things the wrong way. He knows it. And I wake up sometimes sweating, cold sweat. God wake me up out of bed and say, man, you know you messed that thing up. So finally I went back. I made things right. I wouldn't talk to the pastor, got everything out. But in the middle of that conversation, I found out something that I was confessing something within that conversation that I hadn't even thought about myself. But the Lord brought it out at that very same time. And I told him and I confessed to him, I said, man, you couldn't have helped me no way in the season I was in. Because that season I was in, I was broken. And no, you couldn't have helped me then. It was all about me then. I needed some help back then. I said, you couldn't help me. You didn't have the power to help me. I had to leave. God had to do some things in my life to get me straightened out. It was only about that time. Then I realized, okay, I got to do things just a little bit different, right? But in that, here's the son. He sit back, he say, man, then he starts reflecting on everything. He said, not only this, I gotta get it back together. He's sitting around, folk didn't rejected him. He ain't got nothing. He's in this country, ain't nobody receiving him. Then he starts saying about their relationship. He said, man, I got to go back and get this right with my father. I got to straighten this out, right? We got to learn how to repent. That's one of the things we don't learn how to do. On top of being nasty when we leave, we didn't send messages to folk, got everybody else involved, made it messy. Instead of just saying, wait a minute, hold it. Let me look myself in the mirror and say, hey man, this might be deeper than this situation. I got some other stuff that's going on that I just haven't been dealing with, right? So we gotta learn how to repent. He said his mindset only changed when he lost everything. See, when you don't do things the right way, see, there were things that happened in your life that get you redirected. They said a famine came over the area. So he wasn't able to eat like he wanted to. Now everybody's pulling back away from you now because it's all about saving themselves now. We didn't put ourselves in that same situation, right? We didn't got ourselves out there. Now the reality comes in. We got to learn how to come back the right way. Although we didn't trash this thing up, messed it all up, so pull through, folks under the bus and all that, all because it was about us. But God said you got to learn how to repent. Get yourself back together and we'll right this thing. The beautiful part about what happens is this. The son starts to right himself. He gets real with himself and he said, wait a minute, I got to turn back around and get myself back together, right? So the son starts getting his pride and all this stuff back together. He said, I know I got to go back to this place where I messed everything up. But when I get back there, how am I going to be received when I go back to that place? Hey, are they going to throw me under the bus? Are they going to dog me out? How's this thing going to happen? But the one thing I do understand is I do have to go back. So he goes back. He's on his way back. And just imagine the situation that's going on through his mind. You know, a man, I done trashed this thing up, and, the keyboards, I done, busted some windows, I done trashed up stuff, but are they going to welcome me back? The Father shows us something, right? After he humbles himself, he goes back, he turns around, he goes back into this place. The Father sees him afar off. He said, you ain't even got to get into my presence, and I'm going to start preparing a place to receive you back onto me. So even though you have left this place all messed up, you have trashed up this place, I realize this one thing. I do have the power to receive you back into my presence. The Father sees him afar off and starts preparing for his return. See, when we get ourselves away from God, we mess up a bunch of things within the spiritual realm, even in the church realm. God says, I'm still going to prepare a place and receive you back unto me. The Father's in his high position. I really don't have to come down and deal with you by the way you left me. But he said, even in my strength and my power, I'm going to understand that I'm going to come back and I'm going to receive you. And the only thing he can do is just fall into his daddy's arms. His daddy said, he kissed him and said, come on in. They start preparing the best for him. Go get him the robe, clean him up. We're going to party like nobody else's business. Because the Father realized it, just like our Father in heaven. Well, we going to mess up some stuff, right? We're going to say some things we shouldn't say. We're going to be some place we shouldn't be. We're going to leave some place the wrong way sometimes. But the thing about it is, the gracious God that we serve, he said, I'm going to welcome you back home. You always welcome back here because everybody makes a mistake. Even in my stature and my power, he said, I still are going to allow you to come back into my presence. But the hardest thing that we come up against is this, making the step to come back. See, something inside of us has got to say, I got to turn this thing around. But that's the hardest thing because it takes something from us that we're not willing to give up. Pride. My pride got away. I ain't going back there. I just go get me another church home. How about that? But you didn't fix the problem when you left. Those things happen even in our relationship. Trash up relationships. Those same issues that we don't deal with in that relationship follow us to the next relationship, don't we? We come in there, we may act cool for 2 or 3 months, but we got that trash bag of bones that's sitting in that closet. And one day, somebody gonna go in that closet and they're gonna spew all out on the floor. And we're gonna be sitting there like, oh, we should have talked about this earlier. But we didn't we? Because we didn't deal with it. The son said, I'm willing to look beyond that. Get myself together. The father showed the son compassion when he didn't deserve it. He welcomed him back into a home when he didn't deserve it. The same thing is happening to some of us. We don't deserve God's grace. We ain't nowhere in the ballpark. But yet we serve a God that will say, even when you messed up, I'm willing to let you come back into my house and worship me in spirit and in truth. When we learn to stand out that level, everything else in our life changes. Because we serve a God that looks high on his children, but he still has an eye on those who are beneath him. Everybody's not at the same level. Everybody is not going to be at that same level when we ascend to heaven. But the one thing is this, we all going to get there if we are connected to the vine. I may be at the bottom of the vine. I may be at the top. But the thing is, I stayed connected to the vine until my change came.
Amen.
Somebody in here today is waiting on your change to come. Some of us are the same way. Even in like the prodigal son, we done messed up some stuff on the way out. But we serve a God that says, man, if you just come back in here and get yourself together, I got you. I'm not going to play a video of all the hurts and all the pains that you've caused me. Only thing I'm saying is just come back into this place. Worship me in spirit and truth. Everything else will take care of itself. But we got to be willing not only to stand before God and say, man, I messed this thing up from the floor up to the ceiling. But I know this. I serve a God who loves me enough that's going to allow me to come back into his presence. Is anybody in here today say, man, look, I need to get myself back right with the Lord. I've been running this race all by myself, but I'm tired of running this thing. I done messed up some churches. I done messed up some relationships. But he said, today is the day when you got to get yourself back connected with the Lord. The third dimension, worship church, is the place for you. The prodigal son said, man, look here. It was all about me. I realized that. Some of us in the same place today said, man, I'm in that same place. Man, I done messed up some stuff. I know I did. I need to repair some relationships. I need to go back. Matter of fact, I need to call some places today because I know I done did some people, man. I done drove that truck over somebody, backed it back over because it was all about me and my maturity level. But today, God said, man, today is your day to get it together. Whatever you want today, say, man, look here. I'm ready to get myself out there. Restore me, Lord.
Thank you for watching. Please come join us for worship every Sunday at 10 a.m. We are located at 40 West 40th Street Indianapolis, Indiana 46208. We are located inside of the Martin Luther King Jr. Center. Remember to stay connected and subscribe to our YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and website. Thank you and have a blessed week. God bless.